Denver, Colorado. This is Invesco Field at Mile High, home to the two-time Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. Now at nearby Legacy High School, there's one defensive lineman who is so good that he might be playing here in a couple of years. It's time now to meet Nick Kasa. Denver's reputation is built largely on sports. After all, it's impossible to live in the Mile High City and avoid any talk of the beloved hometown Denver Broncos. And it's even harder to not enjoy the world-class skiing that takes place within a few hours of downtown. On the high school football fields, the Denver area is building a reputation for producing big-time defensive players. 2 seasons ago, Ryan Miller was a terror on both sides of the ball before becoming a starter on the offensive line for the Colorado Buffaloes. And last season, it was Ponderosa linebacker John Major who was ranked among the nation's best. Now, there's a new Denver defender who's keeping that reputation alive. Just one look at Nick Kasa in the weight room at Legacy High School should tell you that he's a physical specimen. Kasa is as big as a house. Also, the star defensive end is the best football player in the Centennial State. Nick
brings a different atmosphere, one, because you just look at him and you're intimidated, so the other teams are already planning on double teaming him or adding some guys to his side, which, you know, takes pressure off the other defensive players, allows him to go make a play. But another thing, Nick is super fast, like extremely fast for his size. So when he's coming around that corner, he's not stopping until you get in his way.
Nick poses a lot of problems for teams. Do you run at him? Do you run away from him? And his speed, thing about Nick, his speed is so impressive that running away from him doesn't necessarily make it any better for you.
No, it's hard to avoid Kasa, who is built in the same big and speedy mold of many of today's NFL stars. It's tough to quantify the value of a defensive end in stats, even though he did have 8.5 sacks last season, so we'll let a few highlights do the talking. The legend of Nick Kasa is like the legend of Paul Bunyan. There was the time when he jumped over a blocker.
I went off the line, and I can't remember if the guy came to block me or was blocking someone else in front of me, but I just like nailed him down and jumped over him.
They ran away from him. He jumps over the fullback who was supposed to block back on him and chased the play down from behind and got up in the air and just kind of engulfed the kid. It was pretty impressive.
And there was the other time where Kasa secured a big playoff win with a sack against Highlands Ranch High School. And also the time he should have scored a touchdown off an interception return.
The ball came right to me, so it wasn't really like I got a glorious interception. He just kind of lobbed it up, and I was downfield, which was probably not good because I didn't get to him. But I was just lucky to be right in the place where he threw the ball. I caught it, ran for like 15 yards, and somebody tapped my heel, and I went down.
But if you think Kasa plays football for the highlights and glory, think again. This summer, he spent his time learning how to play offensive line. In order to facilitate the switch, he went from his old number 44 to a lineman like 77. He's a team player, and Kasa brings that calm, humble attitude to school with him every day and to the stadium every Friday night.
Real humble kid. You know, he's just not real outgoing, which he's not. He's real shy and just an all-around good kid.
Legacy High School in Broomfield is just a few minutes away from the state's top college team in Boulder. So it comes as no surprise that Colorado is one of several programs that are begging Kasa to accept a scholarship offer. Big-time athletes like Kasa don't come from Legacy very often, and the gigantic defensive lineman knows how fortunate he truly is.
It's kind of honoring in a way, too, to have, I mean, some guys get letters from Division II schools like one a month and they're ecstatic about it. I get letters from D1 like every day almost, and it's just an honor. It's like most guys would kill for that.
Nick Kasa isn't the first big defensive prospect to come from Colorado, and probably won't be the last. He might, however, end up being the best. In Broomfield, Colorado, I'm Mike Rigg.